It's time now for Upon Further Review, brought to you by Ogeechee Technical College, Education with Purpose, and by Dr. Lincoln Lippincott with the Sleep Apnea Center in Statesboro. And now, here they are, Josh Aubrey and Nate Hirsch.
And we're happy to welcome you in. It's a brand new week of Upon Further Review. Along with Josh, part of the Statesboro Herald's online team. This is Nate. We're up top of ERA, Hirsch Real Estate Team, buying or selling real estate. Talk to the folks at ERA, Hirsch Real Estate Team. It's Thanksgiving week. We want to wish everybody the best this week. Typically, we would do one show. We have too much to talk about. In years past, we'd be looking forward to a playoff game this week. And I won't talk about it today.
It's so weird that we still have two regular season games left
to go. And
a bowl.
And a bowl game. We'll talk about it on our next show. I just want to at least touch on it for a minute. They did announce the FCS bracket on Sunday. Citadel with their win over South Carolina solidified.
Congrats to them.
You give them credit.
And we just talked about them having won the Southern Conference.
And I'll talk more about that later. Right now,
all right,
we're still trying to get over what happened Saturday night in Athens. We will spend a lot of time on this show delving into the Georgia game. Josh was on the field shooting video. He was there with Coach Fritz after the game.
Saw all the bleep calls.
Also to find out what was going on. Everybody was asking, so I'm going to ask you the questions here in our opening segment, then I'll give you my observations.
All right.
I was up top in the press box.
You were.
Okay. The reason
being impartial as you're supposed to be.
Being very immature as an old man up there.
No, impartial is what you're supposed to be.
Being very immature is how I was. That's why they put me to the right.
I was doing that on the field. Man.
The press box, no cheering in the press box is supposed to be,
Yep.
And I'm yelling, get him! And we did sack the quarterback. So the reason I went to the game to start with, I thought in all my years, and of course this is only the sixth time we've gone up there to see them play, but I felt, if it was ever going to happen, maybe the miracle could happen. Okay. And as we all know, it almost did. Okay. And I'll make the statement that Josh and I kind of agreed on as we talked yesterday. He vented on Facebook. I try to stay off of it as best I can because I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Yeah.
But we played a great football game. So proud of the effort for the Georgia Southern Eagles.
Without a doubt.
That's bottom line. We played a great game. But Irk Russell taught me, and Roy Akins called me again last night to remind me, back in 1981, I learned a lesson.
Right.
Our first game was against Florida State's JVs on a Monday afternoon in Tallahassee.
Okay.
And we're ahead most of the game.
Right.
And of course, what happens? We lose right at the end. Mm-hmm. So I go down to the dressing room and tell Irk just what I would tell Coach Fritz, actually. We played a great game. I just wanted to congratulate you. And he looked at me, Nate, and he goes, don't you ever congratulate me after a loss. We had them by that. I won't use what he said. Mm-hmm. And you know what? And that's how you have to treat these games. We came to win the football game.
And nothing makes me more upset than getting from the opposite team, oh, great effort. You guys really tried hard. No, we had you beat.
That's all.
Yeah.
That's all. The true Georgia fan was going to mess in their pants. And I will say one thing. I was treated nicer I'm talking about in the press box, it's fine. I'm talking about when I had to go down on the field, and I didn't go down early like we normally do, so I had to go through the Georgia crowd. They were all, they were just still in a state of shock. And I was wearing my Georgia Southern gear, and Jennifer was with me, but they all said the same thing. Georgia Southern played a terrific game. Y'all had every opportunity, to win the game. We were very fortunate to win. I think that's how most Georgia people looked at the game. Now, the reality is, this is not as good a Georgia team as everybody thought it was going to be coming into the season. It wasn't as good as they thought coming into the season. Okay.
Nate, coming into the season, they were picked to win.
That's what I'm saying, but it's not been as good as that.
Right, but what have they? They've lost Nick Chubb. Okay, he was a Heisman Trophy candidate.
They haven't been able to overcome that.
But guess what? That's the only major injury, to
No,
my
I'm saying-
knowledge, that they have.
But the quarterback play hasn't been as good as
But
they
that
hoped.
wasn't because of an
Anyway,
injury. That's
no.
just
They haven't been as good. They lost the 3 key games.
because they keep
to
saying
them.
this is a down year. Okay, it's a down year. Guess what? You're having a down year with 4 and 5 star recruits.
Right.
That you must have messed up. on.
But again, we're not saying anything like that. The thing is, Georgia Southern, that's why I felt, still had their opportunity this year.
And I've said this, and I'll say it again, and I'll say it a million times. Nobody that is going to Georgia Southern turned down Georgia to come to Georgia Southern. They didn't. It didn't happen. So you're going up against a team full of players who are supposed to be better than you.
And we'll see a bunch of them go to the NFL.
How'd
again.
that work out? They should have lost that game.
But anyway, that's
And then
why.
we can get into some of these calls.
But that's why I felt.
That's what I'm waiting on.
That's why I felt this was the best Georgia Southern team we've probably taken up there.
Yeah, without
to
a doubt.
play. So that's what I'm
the
saying.
The Georgia Southern defense, Nate, is a very, very
has
good.
just played terrific.
23rd in the nation.
Yeah. So again, had the chance. Again, so proud of the team. But again, you'll ask every one of them. They came to win the football game, not
Herm. Is that why you're wearing your green for Herm? We came to win the game. You play to win the game.
We'll talk more about it in a moment. Quick reminder, when you need legal advice in the Statesboro, Bullitt County area, we have the man for you to call on, and that is Lubbock Bennett Jr., attorney at law at PC. Lubbock's office located in downtown Statesboro. Back with more in a moment on Upon Further Review.
Toyotathon is on at Franklin Toyota. Hundreds of new Toyotas are Toyotathon priced.
Save up to $5,000 off 2016 Camrys or buy 2016 Corollas from $16,495.
Find it at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro.
Do you ever wonder what that 15% savings cost you in service?
What's the name on the account?
My name is Mary, M-A-R-Y.
Who is it?
Mary.
Oh,
My
okay.
name is Mary.
Right.
Are you even listening to me?
Sure.
At Glenn Davis Insurance, we get to know you as a person. To us, you're not just another number. Together with Auto Owners Insurance, we can develop an insurance plan tailored to your specific needs. Glenn Davis and Associates. Call or come by today.
Toyotathon is on at Franklin Toyota. Hundreds of new Toyotas are Toyotathon priced.
Save up to $7,000 off 2015 Avalons or get up to $6,000 off 2015 Prius.
Find it at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro.
Well, Josh, we've got some new items from the university store to show us some heavier stuff to wear. As we tape today, it's a little cooler outside. It's got some nice sweatshirts.
GATA.
Got those also. And in addition to these, the special T-shirts are there today. The Tin Horn shirts, which your buddy Nick Saban made famous.
Those should go well, I would think.
I don't even
Pretty
have to.
funny.
Do I have to explain that to anybody? By now, you people who watch our show.
Go to YouTube, search
you've
Nick
seen-
Saban rant
That's
Georgia
it.
Southern.
It was there. Okay. The game's over, and again, the questions that I get asked, people are calling me, okay, where was Kevin Ellison in the second half? That's why I have this man down on the field to answer some of those questions.
And I had some of the same questions because we were down there and there's 6 or 7 minutes left in the game and Fabian Upshaw's in, and then there's 3 minutes left in the game and Fabian Upshaw's in, and I said, if this is just playing the hot hand, you've pretty much told Kevin Ellison, you may not be the starter anymore. Well, come to find out, I did talk to Coach Fritz in the postgame, and he said Kevin was injured and Fabian, he felt, was moving the team. So it was a combination of both. And then at the end of the game, Fabian on the last play, it looked like he might have twisted his ankle. He came limping very, very gingerly into the press conference. I believe that led also with the injury to Bird at right guard, the Wildcat play at the very end of the game. You know,
in overtime, the fourth down
maybe
and
they
one.
should have called a timeout and tried to come up with a more trick play. I don't know, but it didn't work the other couple times. It's unfortunate that it didn't work. It looked like there was a block missed on the left side that allowed Jenkins to come through, and then there was definitely a block missed by the backup on the right side. So, you know, but there were a lot of other plays in that game.
No,
that I
that's-
think were
right.
even. You can always point to that play because it was the last one.
Let's talk about two huge plays, okay?
Yes.
I'm way up top.
Yep.
You're down on the field across from where the touchdown catch is made there. And the replay on TV, the ball hits the ground. Does
Yep.
he have his hand underneath it? The problem was if ever you were going to review something,
It was that.
okay, just review it.
Okay, here's the thing, and it leads into the other one,
That's
which we'll
right.
talk about too, which was the inadvertent whistle, the muff punt. With the naked eye, the muff punt, there's no way that thing should be reviewed, okay? With the naked eye, the touchdown in the corner looked a little bit, did he roll under it? Did he trap it or what?
And he certainly-
that one should definitely be reviewed.
And again, it might have stayed a touchdown. There's not a question. It might have stayed a
The
touchdown.
problem in college football is that there's no firm rule of you throw your beanbag in the NFL.
Yeah.
You got to do that in college football. There's got to be that process, because if it's just up to the referees, then you leave it up to a chance. Do you think that was? Do you think it wasn't? The TV, obviously, they go, whoa. And they say, that looks like he might not have caught it.
And I
It
watched
was
the-
not reviewed.
yeah.
She was on the field arguing. It's on video.
Oh, yeah,
I
you
got
said,
it
yeah.
and all that. And then the muff punt.
Right. And so you see on TV, after you've told me about the inadvertent whistle, the referee who blew the whistle early says, you see him saying, I blew the whistle early, it was inadvertent.
The ball was coming down, and I've timed it out, and I've
Yeah.
showed right as it was about to touch our player, he blows the whistle. Obviously, he saw him throw his hand up as a fair catch, and just almost instinctively, you blow the whistle to say it's dead. Well, he screwed up.
He made a
because
mistake, right.
the whistle's blown,
Yeah.
then the ball goes through his hands, then they meet, and you see the referee or the umpire or whatever say, I blew the whistle. Then the referee comes up, and then they talk for 5-7 minutes. Then they go to replay, which was crazy.
Yeah, there was nothing to review on that one.
So I showed it up there, and it should have been. And I talked to Coach Fritz, and
we'll
we'll
have
see
that
that
come on.
later. And he said, it should have been an inadvertent whistle. If the play's dead, we take over right there. Very much like the Georgia Tech game, Nate, where the whistle was blown on the, and it's called an incomplete pass, and who ends up getting the ball? Georgia Tech.
Folks, I've lived this my whole adult life with the little guy trying
And
to
we
get
didn't
through
even
it.
say the pass interference call. That was a big play as well.
Yeah.
It should have been a pass interference. It was pretty obvious.
Looks like they ran through
TV
Miles
mentioned it too.
Campbell, yeah.
And,
anyway, there was just, by the way, I missed the pushing and shoving before the game. I guess
Yeah.
I was socializing too much. The other question people had for me on our fourth down call, would we have tried a 57-yard field goal?
I was really kind of hoping they would. To be honest, and I said it there.
TV does show Young Wei Koo practicing, and he's ready to go, he says.
There was no wind in the stadium. That was a positive. He had just made a 48, 47, and with plenty of leg to
Right.
spare.
And then we wound up also punting the ball out of the end zone.
And that part was frustrating because then you net 20 yards
Right.
instead of, it didn't even come close. But that didn't lead to any points. But, you think maybe you try that field goal. Who knows?
Anyway,
It gets blocked, return for a kick, and you get second guess there too. So.
Right. But again, that's why
To
you have
come that close, Nate, it was.
I know.
Oh,
I
it's
know. And I try to
heartbreaking.
tell people the coaches have prepared for a lot of these situations. They didn't just come up with that play, at the end. Why
Yeah.
they thought it would work. That's all. Okay. And again, now it's time to take a deep breath because we got 2 football games to play, and South Alabama is going to come in here Saturday needing to win. They have to beat Georgia Southern or Appalachian to be bowl eligible. We'll talk about that later on today. We got the highlights from Georgia Southern, though, interviews coming up, that and a lot more in a moment on Upon Further Review.
Toyotathon is on at Franklin Toyota. Hundreds of new Toyotas are Toyotathon priced.
Save up to $5,000 off 2016 Camrys or buy 2016 Corollas from $16,495.
Find it at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro.
The Clubhouse in Statesboro, Southeast Georgia's best place to play. The Clubhouse in Statesboro, where fun is done.
The Medical Center Pharmacy on Grenade Street is proud to be your Health Mart pharmacy in Statesboro. The Medical Center Pharmacy, locally owned and serving this community for 50 years, is open 364 days a year. The pharmacists at Medical Center know there's nothing more important than your family's well-being. That's why they take the time to know their customers, explain their medications, and answer any questions. The Medical Center Pharmacy, your Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, caring for you and about you. Well, Josh, you and I have dissected it, but you were down there to shoot it. So just for those who didn't see it, I know a lot of you have, here are the highlights and the post-game with Willie Fritz.
All right, let's get right out and see the highlights and post-game from Athens. A showdown in Athens with Cole Swindell leading the team onto the field. Georgia Southern looking for their first victory ever against the Bulldogs. Things didn't start off too well, though, as Georgia marches downfield on their opening possession, scoring on the reverse by Isaiah McKenzie, and quickly it's 7-0 Bulldogs. But the Eagle defense stiffens from there. Southeast Bullock Zone, Jamal Johnson with the sack. Grayson Lambert later still in the first. The pass will be complete, but Matt Dobson helps jar the ball loose, and it's recovered by Darius White. The Eagle offense then gets going. Fabian Upshaw to B.J. Johnson for a first down. That would take us to the second quarter, and Upshaw scrambling gets knocked out of bounds just shy of the 10-yard line. That drive would stall. In comes Youngwei Koo, but he'll push this 31-yarder wide right, still 7-0. But on the next possession, the Eagles at it again. Kevin Ellison on the draw gets ahead 20 yards into Bulldog territory. Next, the give to Matt Breida. Nothing doing on the right side, so he'll cut back left, get a couple of blocks. Nearly gets the pylon for the score, but he's out at the 1. No problem, as on the next play, L.A. Ramsby over the top for the touchdown, and we're tied at 7-all. That score holds up to halftime, third quarter. And out of the Wildcat, the give to Isaiah McKenzie, and he's lit up by Antoine Williams. The ball pops out. Caleb Williams scoops and scores 62 yards. A nice roar from the crowd. And the Eagles take a 14-7 lead. The defense continues to pile up the big hits. Ironhead Gallen to Sony Michel for a loss. Then arguably play the game. Listen for the whistle. It's blown just prior to Derek Keaton fielding the ball. You'll see the official come in and say he blew the whistle, but instead of the referee calling it a dead ball in Eagle football, they allow replay to bail them out. Obviously, it was a fumble, and Georgia recovered, but Coach Fritz justifiably livid that it wasn't ruled a dead ball. Georgia then takes over, and Grayson Lambert to Terry Godwin, a touchdown that the television announcers said it should have been at least reviewed. Coach Fritz pleads his case for review, but is denied. We're tied at 14 in the fourth. Youngwei Koo from 48 yards out, 17-14 Georgia Southern, but Marshall Morgan able to tie it again with the 43-yarder for the Bulldogs, 17-all. Which would be the way things ended in regulation. So to overtime we go, 3rd and long. Fabian Upshaw will try and pick up the needed yardage. Scrambling, sprinting, comes up less than a yard shy. The Eagles elect to go for it on 4th down, but the Wildcat play to L.A. Ramsby sees a couple blocks missed. He's hit for a loss. Georgia takes over, needing only a field goal to win. They'd instead get a touchdown by Sony Michel on the very first play, and the upset denied. Georgia survives 23-17.
Proud of our guys. I thought our guys really came out and competed. Don't know how great we played, but I thought we really competed and had some opportunities, and unfortunately things just didn't go our way. So. But it was I thought our defense played lights out, did an excellent job during the course of the game, and it was just one of those games. We had some opportunities, just didn't quite get it done.
Coach, a big turning point in the game. It was obvious a whistle was blown before our guy receives the punt. What did they tell you about on that play? What did the officials say?
Well, it's a different way they can interpret it, and they felt like it was an immediate recovery. The whistle was clearly blown. Sometimes that's called inadvertent whistle. It's a do-over because maybe people stopped playing. But that's what the call was. I saw the guy go over there to tell the ref that he'd blown an inadvertent whistle, and they goofed up, and but they went ahead and let the play stand. So disappointing.
A little bit after that, you wanted a review. What happened on that play?
I looked up, and it appeared to me that there was an incomplete pass on the touchdown, and I wanted to get a review, but they said they'd already reviewed it, and it was not an incomplete pass, and so they weren't going to give me the review.
How are the kids handling it in the locker room right now?
Oh, they're very disappointed. Very disappointed. And we came in here with the intentions to win, and we felt like we could, and had an opportunity to do it, and just didn't quite get it done. There's a lot of guys that are, worried about this play or that play, and that call or this call, head coach included.
We'll be back in just a moment.
Toyotathon is on at Franklin Toyota. Hundreds of new Toyotas are Toyotathon priced.
Save up to $7,000 off 2015 Avalons, or get up to $6,000 off 2015 Prius.
Find it at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro.
Tired of being tired? Do you start and end the day completely worn out? You may have obstructive sleep apnea. Dr. Lippincott at the Sleep Apnea Center in Statesboro can give you an evaluation and explain the new non-invasive procedure that has helped so many in our area. Call for an appointment or be on the lookout for one of our free seminars. The Sleep Apnea Center in Statesboro, part of Statesboro ENT, 120 South Zetterauer Avenue. And it's time now for our high school segment presented by Ogeechee Technical College. We'll look at some high school basketball from last week. That's after we take a look at this from OTC.
I'm Philip Irick.
I'm Dr. Tyler Bergner.
I graduated from Ogeechee Technical College, and I'm finishing my bachelor's degree at Georgia Southern University.
I am a resident physician at Memorial University Medical Center. I am OTC.
Every student is unique. Whether you're interested in dual enrollment, an associate degree, or earning credit toward a higher degree, a diploma, or certificate, Ogeechee Tech can help you build a strong foundation for your future. Visit ogeecheetech.edu to find out how you can go anywhere from here.
Well, Josh, it was a busy night as it turned out at BA because they got in, I guess, several nights of girls basketball, and then the boys played a game too.
That's right. Ended up playing a doubleheader of the girls game. Not much of a contest. The boys pretty close. Let's get out and see some highlights from Bullock Academy from Thursday night. Bullock Academy hosting Augusta Prep in the first of two at Gator Alley. Ladies first, and this one all Gators. Off the miss, it's Brian Boykin with the putback and the foul. Later on the break, Abby Newton finishing nicely. Next, fellow 8th grader Lacey Robbins with two right here. Robbins giving as well as receiving as she spots McKay Sands inside. Two of her team high 13. Later, Newton to Sarah Evans, who somehow manages the hoop and the foul. 23-3 Gators. And finally, more of the same in the second half. Newton, two more of her 10. Gators roll 49-23. We ride on over to the boys game, BA and Augusta Christian. First half, and portal transfer Tyler Budget showing his stuff from long range. The three. Later on the break, Lanier Olive able to drain the baseline jumper, but Augusta Christian comes right back. They were in this one throughout. Nate Dunlop hitting the three-pointer. The Gators respond. Brett Thomas taking it strong to the hoop for the layup. Later, Statesboro High transfer Jarius Michael with three of his team-high 17 points as he gets the friendly bounce. Budget will then drive in for the hoop and the foul. This one tying things at 22. And finally, it's Hunter Perry coming up with the putback as BA wins a close one, 58-55. Well, Nate, this week, Statesboro High takes center stage. The girls are hosting their Ladies Night Out tournament. Southeast Bullock involved in that as well. So get out there if you want something to do over the next couple days.
Yeah, that's on a Tuesday night and Wednesday night as they bring in teams each year for that. We'll come back and wrap things up in just a moment on Upon Further Review.
Lee Hill and Johnston Insurers. We've been Statesboro's insurance people since 1963. That's a lot of memories. Recognized as one of the leading agencies in Georgia, Lee Hill and Johnston is independent and offers a complete line of personal and business insurance for auto, life, home, and health. We'll shop companies to find the lowest premiums and best coverage for you, your family, or your business. Lee Hill and Johnston Insurers, the insurance people since 1963.
We know how important your family is to you, which is why family medicine is so important to us. At TRICARE Family Medicine, we'll see that your family is in the best possible health. We offer a fun and friendly environment and are now accepting new pediatric and adult patients. Come experience the difference today. Let our family take care of your family at TRICARE Family Medicine, the official family practice of Georgia Southern Athletics.
It's 2015 model sell-off at Franklin Toyota. Now is your best time to buy because every 2015 model must be sold.
Save up to $5,000 off new 2016 Camrys or get 0 APR for 60 months.
Find it today at Franklin Toyota in Statesboro.
Well, Josh says I should tell everybody in our next show we will have his visit with Cole Swindell. Jennifer was there for Friday night's concert. Maybe the best surprise I've pulled off not telling her until a minute before the show.
Well, you know, it's funny you said that because my daughter went with her friend, and they were sitting right near you, and her friend didn't know until right then that she was going for her birthday. So.
Okay, a couple of things that did happen over the weekend in Hanner Fieldhouse. Arkansas State did win the volleyball championship. Georgia Southern got bopped out by them in the first round. Okay. Men's basketball, after losing to Ole Miss,
we don't even want to talk about that.
Got beat by Auburn. This week they go. It's an interesting trip. You play two different teams. They're going to play Wednesday night against the Citadel.
Right.
Friday night, they get to have off for Thanksgiving. Friday night they'll play Upstate. Both of those games are at Upstate in Spartanburg. The Lady Eagles got beat at Mercer on Friday night. They play Georgia on Tuesday. And some of the Sun Belt games were shocking on Saturday, but I want to mention one, and I didn't even know the story till today.
You're talking about the guy whose dad was murdered?
Yeah, and he goes to the funeral. Okay.
Hadn't played in 3 weeks.
Allen, the quarterback.
Right.
He comes and drives 4 hours to the game and then throws 4 touchdown passes.
No interceptions.
And they beat Lafayette 37-34. Hats off there. Obviously, we had the finish of NASCAR on Saturday afternoon after the Falcons decided to say, here, Colts, you can stay in first place in your division. I almost went to the game, but I said, no, I can't. I'm too old for this.
Busch won.
Yeah, but Kyle Busch is the NASCAR champion for 2015 as Jeff Gordon finished up. He's obviously...
And our boy, Graham McDowell.
Yeah, great
finish at St.
Great
Thomas.
week.
We went and visited him on Friday.
Great week, anyway. All right, we'll have a lot to cover when we see you next time on Upon Further Review.
Join us again next time for Upon Further Review, brought to you in part by Ogeechee Technical College, Education with Purpose, and by Dr. Lincoln Lippincott with the Sleep Apnea Center in Statesboro.